Today I am going to narrate the story of a great Advaitic sage Yajnavalkya. The name of Yajnavalkya of Mithila stands distinguished both in the Shrutis and in the Smritis. Yajnavalkya is especially known for his unsurpassed spiritual wisdom and power. The seer of a Veda Samhita from Bhagavan Surya, the revealer of Brahma Jnana to Janaka, Maitreyi and others. He is the famed author of the Shukla Yajurveda Samhita. Yajnavalkya held supreme among sages of sacred memory. Yajnavalkya was the son of the sister of Mahamuni Vaishnampayana, the Vedacharya of the Taittiriya section. He was studying the Taittiriya Samhita from Vaishnampayana, who are also his guru. Vaishnampayana had many other disciples too, and they all were students of the Taittiriya Shakha. Vaishnampayana, however, was irked by the independent and outspoken attitude of Yajnavalkya. You see, Yajnavalkya was very frank. He did not agree if he finds something is not to the point. So over a period, the Guru-Shishya relation became sore to the point of an open confrontation. Vaishnampayana excluded Yajnavalkya from his students' team and foreclosed further learning of the compilations of Taittiriya Samhita authored by him, Vaishnampayana. He restrained Yajnavalkya from quoting the Taittiriya Samhita, which became known as the Krishna Yajur. Yajnavalkya, piqued by this development, determined not to have any human guru thereafter. Inspired by the god Surya, he acquired fresh insights into the Vedas. This was developed into what is now known as the Shukla Yajur. This is a very important watershed in the history of the Vedic evolution in India. A ritual-based religious system becoming credited with profound philosophical thinking. Yajnavalkya is known by his very advanced Upanishadic philosophy. His masterly expositions in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in the form of debates and lectures are mind-boggling. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is the biggest Upanishad among all the Upanishad. Yajnavalkya married two wives. One was Maitreyi and the other Katyayani. Of the two, Maitreyi was a Brahmavadini. There was a time when Yajnavalkya wished to divide his property between the two wives and proceed to forest as an ascetic. While Katyayani, a woman of common intelligence, was comfortable with this idea and immediately accepted the property given to her. Maitreyi mused on this proposal. She wanted to know from Yajnavalkya whether she could become immortal through wealth. Yajnavalkya replied that there was no hope of immortality through wealth and that she would only become one among the many who were well-to-do on earth. On hearing this, Maitreyi requested Yajnavalkya to teach her what he considered as the best. Then Yajnavalkya elaborately described to her the sole greatness of the Absolute Self, the nature of its existence, the way of attaining infinite knowledge and immortality, etc. This immortal conversation between Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi is recorded in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. See, we must understand self, Atma, soul is same. So when we say self, we are talking about soul. Okay. The central theme of the discourse is this source of knowledge, this source of power, all these words, all these gods, all these beings, all this is just the self, means Atma. This self alone exists everywhere. It cannot be understood or known, for it is alone is the understander and the knower. Its nature cannot be said to be positively as such. It is realized through endless denials as not this, a process of negation in the philosophical inquiry. The self is self-luminous, indestructible, unthinkable. Yajnavalkya, though his other wife Yajnavalkya, through his other wife Katyani, the daughter of Bhardvaja, had three sons, Chandrakanta, Mahamegha, and Vijaya. Yajnavalkya, though a great Brahmajnani, was a great Karmakandi or too. He caused many yajnas to be performed and himself became the Acharya of those great yajnas. He was a celebrated Shrotriya and a Brahmanista guru. Once King Janaka of Videha wanted to know from which real Brahmanista to receive Brahma Vidya. In order to find out who was the real Brahmanista, Janaka performed a huge Bahudakshina sacrifice to which all the rishis from far and wide were invited. And he offered 1,000 cows with their calves and their horns being decked with enormous gold. Then he proclaimed to the assembled ones, "Whosoever is the best Brahmana among you may drive these cows home." None dared to get up and take away the cows, as they were afraid of censure by the others. But Yajnavalkya stood up and asked his disciple Samstravas to drive the cows home. The other Brahmanas got angry at this and said to one another, "How can he declare himself to be the best among us?" Thereupon several rishis challenged Yajnavalkya with many questions on transcendental matter, to all of which Yajnavalkya gave prompt reply. There was a great debate in which Yajnavalkya won over all the others. Janaka was convinced that Yajnavalkya was the best Brahmanista and received Brahma Vidya from him thereafter. The verbal combat that ensued in the court of Janaka on this occasion is very famous. Apart from the fact that these arguments are interesting and enlightening, they are also known for its pungency and tragedy. Noted among the arguers are a learned lady called Gargi, sage Udalka, Sakilya, and many others. Yajnavalkya won over everyone convincingly. We can find these debates verbatim in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The third and the fourth chapter of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad abound with the great philosophical teachings of Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya was also the author of the famous Yajnavalkya Smriti. His other works are Yajnavalkya Shakha, Partijana Sutra, Satpatha Brahmana, and Yog Yajnavalkya. At the sacrifice of Janaka, there was an exchange of words between Yajnavalkya and Vaishampayana. But on hearing that Yajnavalkya had obtained a fresh Veda from the sun god, Vaishampayana was much pleased, and he requested Yajnavalkya to teach that Veda to his own disciples also. Yajnavalkya consented and taught his Veda to the disciples of Vaishampayana. In the end, Yajnavalkya took Vidvat sannyasa, renunciation after the attainment of the knowledge of Brahma, and retired to the forest. Yajnavalkya was one of the greatest sages ever known. We find him arguing with and overcoming even his teacher Uddalaka at the court of Janaka. His precepts, as contained in the Upanishads, stand foremost as the crest jewel of the highest teachings on Brahma Vidya. The master who guided thousands of persons from King Janaka to the commonest students on the path of enlightenment was Yajnavalkya. His was the mastermind that produced Shukla Yajurveda. Yajnavalkya was born on the seventh day of the month of Kartik at an auspicious time. After coming into the world, Yajnavalkya regularly worshipped the god of fire through yajnas and yagas. He had divine radiance like Vajneswara. Therefore, he was called Yajnavalkya from his childhood. Yajnavalkya received the great Gayatri mantra from his father. He was sent to Gurukula for further education. He won the love and admiration of everybody in the ashram within a few days. Later, he was imparted knowledge of the Vedas by various sages. By the blessings of the sun god, he became a seer blessed with vision of mantras, a Maharshi, and also Brahmarshi. Possessing divine knowledge by writing his experiences in the form of Shukla Yajurveda. Quoting from His Holiness Swami Krishnanand Maharaj, an authority on Yajnavalkya, the source of knowledge, this source of power, all these words, all these gods, all these beings, all this is just the self. See here, self, remember, self is our soul. This proclamation is like a Brahma Astra, and sage Yajnavalkya is discharging against every kind of attachment one can conceive in this world. It is somewhat easy to accept that God is everywhere. It becomes easy because we always externalize the location of God. However much we may try to universalize Him, the idea of location in space does not leave us so easily. God is everywhere, this is what we generally believe. The everywhereness of God implies that there is space, and inasmuch as our mind is wedded completely to the concept of spatial expansion, we feel a little bit comforted when we are told that God is everywhere. Now here a thunderbolt is discharged by sage Yajnavalkya when he says the self also is everywhere. Imani bhutani idam sarvam yad ayam atma. All the 14 words are the self. Here we will not find it so easy to accept it because we cannot specialize the concept of self. Our self cannot be somewhere else. It must be within us only. But what does one mean by saying all the worlds, all the gods, all this is the self? What is this that the sage is telling us? What exactly is the self? Can anyone tell us what is self? What meaning can we attach to this word? There is myself, yourself, this self, that self. The self is something which cannot be externalized, objectified, or specialized in any way. The self is the utter subjectivity of universality. The universal concept is rather easy to accept because we may specialize even the universal being, but the self cannot be specialized. I cannot be anywhere else than in myself. See here, actually the confusion is created when we identify ourselves with the body. Here is the problem. So, identification with the body creates all this dilemma. Otherwise, if we know exactly the self and body are different, they are separate, they are distinctly separate, then understanding this conception is easy. So, Maitreyi, I have told you everything. I am now departing from this place. Yajnavalkya said. All this teaching to his consort Maitreyi ended with this renunciation. This renunciation is of a different kind. It is called Vidvat Sannyasa. It is not the sannyasa that people take ordinarily for the sake of knowing something. Here it renounces having already known everything. It is called Vidvat Sannyasa and not Vividisa Sannyasa. It is not Karma Sannyasa. What happened to Yajnavalkya afterwards no one knows. The whole story ends here with this stunning, shaking, earth-shaking statement. We cannot say anything more than this. Nowhere will you find statement or speaking of this kind. So, in the next video, I will narrate the conversation between sage Yajnavalkya and his consort Maitreyi. See, that conversation is very, very important. From this conversation, we can understand the basic Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of the self of Hinduism. This can make the person very clear. We can understand what is soul, what is its identification with the body. See, when we identify ourselves with the body, so that creates all the problems. Here the conception of Maya starts. This is ignorance. This is complete ignorance. And this identification of the self with the body creates all the problems unless we understand that the body is different, distinctly separate from the soul. We cannot understand Brahma Gyan. So, in the next video, I will try to make everything very clear. See, I gave this story about Yajnavalkya to just have an idea. Straightway, if I start, the conversation between Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi, then things will become, people will simply, query who is this Yajnavalkya. So, just to know briefly who is sage Yajnavalkya, who was Maitreyi. So, this gives a, for the next video, you can become ready. So, thank you, gentlemen. In my videos, I will explain the Upanishadic knowledge of Hinduism. See, dear friends, Hinduism is not a religion. Please do not misunderstand me. So, Hinduism is simply spiritualism. It is directly connected to our self. So, my dear self of a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or anybody is same. So, do not misunderstand that Hinduism is a religion. Definitely, it is not a religion. It is the way of living on this earth. So, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Jai Sri Prabhu. Jai Sri Prabhu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.